YouTube, what's the vibes? It's your boy Go Figure Visions, aka Royalty Monroe, and we back with another video. This shit is bananas. Look, we got fucking Satanists versus Christians, Muslims, all the religions. You heard? This shit crazy. Let's get it.
I am a Presbyterian pastor.
I'm a Hindu.
I'm Muslim.
Hi, I'm Lois. I'm a Satanist.
This shit about to be bananas.
To be honest, when I heard of Satanists, my first reaction was something that does not align with my core beliefs.
I think of like a lot of darkness and evil and lostness.
Okay.
When I think of Abrahamic faith, I think of slaughterings and burnings and mutilations, all in the name of God.
To myself, I don't actually have a image or a person or a thing that I think of when I think of Satan. The Arabic word for Satan is shaitan. He's what's whispering in your ear in a sense of trying to lead you away from God.
Tell me a little bit more about the Temple of Satan. What is that?
One of the things I like about it personally is that they are actively fighting to make sure that every religion has a chance to have a say right now in this country.
I'm approaching this with a spirit of curiosity, love to ask questions and hear more about the perspectives of the people that I'm going to be talking to.
And as for the major religions, I hope to understand why they stayed within their religion if they were born into it, or I hope to understand how they justify their beliefs.
Alright, man, let's get it. Let's get it.
Wait, my name's Sean Gendel. I'm a Presbyterian pastor. I'm married to my wife Kelly, and we have 3 children.
Okay, Sean. Yeah.
I'm Amr Isa. I'm 19 years old. I'm Muslim. I was born and raised in a Muslim household. Muslim my whole life. It's a big part of who I am.
My name is Jason Turgeon. I'm 33. I'm a Satanist. I was raised Christian and have somewhat recently converted.
My name is Ragini. I was born and raised in India, and then I moved here for grad school, and currently I'm a director at Jubilee Media, and I'm Hindu.
I'm Lois. I'm 23, and I'm a Satanist, and I was raised Jewish.
My name is Richard Leo.
Okay.
I'm older than I like to tell people. I'm a Satanist. I was raised Christian, but I am a Satanist.
Can I get my Satanists back there on the left and members of major religions on the right? Hell is a real place.
I don't actually know, when I try to think of what hell looks like to me, I don't think it's how it's been in movies or people just talk about some fiery inferno. I believe in an afterlife where there is a kind of a good place and a bad place, where what you do here kind of determines where you're going to end up.
Right.
Yeah. One of the signs that there is something greater than us out there is that we see something beautiful that we want someone to express our thanksgiving to and our worship towards. And in the same way, on the opposite end of the spectrum,
We don't celebrate pagan holidays.
when there are terrible deeds or acts that are committed by humans towards one another, that there also needs to be a place of justice. And so I believe that there is a heaven and that there is a hell, and that the gift of grace that God offers us is so generous that for those who reject it, that there has to be a place of judgment. So, yeah.
Makes
Can I
sense.
get my disagreeers to come in?
Alright, it's about to get good, John.
Personally, I would never worship a god that would send someone to an eternal lake of fire to be burned forever for the simple fact of non-belief, when that deity knows what it would take to convince every single person on this planet. That is cruel, it is inhumane, it is not kind, it is not generous, and that is not a god worthy of worship.
Motherfucker, who are you to say that? Who are you? Look at your mother.
What's more, it would be damning the vast majority of everyone who's ever existed for not believing in him for a set of rules that he created.
To be fair, I feel like this presupposes that to burn in hell means that you don't believe in God. I'm sure that there are religions, and I know that there are people who believe that hell is a place for murderers, you know. And when I was Jewish, we didn't believe in hell. They didn't even talk about the devil. I just kind of came upon it myself. I believe that in the event that we have spirits and they will go on to some other realm, it's probably more of a nebulous place than a physical hell, lake, fire, everything.
I don't even believe we have souls necessarily.
Oh.
I'd like to see some evidence
Like,
before I believe
barely
something like that.
believe.
So y'all just don't believe in nothing. Y'all just thought like we came from fucking monkeys. The motherfucking bird laid an egg, and there were you.
Yeah.
That we're even conscious, let alone like I'm about to have an existential crisis up here.
I mean, if I smack the dog shit out you, you might be unconscious at that point. Just a thought.
I think the historical Christian position is that the gift of the invitation that God gives to the people that He made is so generous and came at such a high price to Him.
A high price. He gave up a weekend.
He
gave up a weekend.
Right.
He was God before.
Yeah.
He was God during, and He's God now. He gave up a weekend. If I knew right now that I could go off and die and then not die, where's the gift in that, number one?
I'm able to look at the grace that has been extended to me, and I receive it.
I want to make sure I can get a full sentence out of Sean.
Okay, so the way that I would commonly think of it is that if I gave up the life of my own son in exchange for your life, that it is okay then for me to make the invitation that God makes towards us.
Is that moral?
Is it moral?
Is it moral? On a corporeal level.
Jesus took on the penalty that I deserved for the sins that I committed, if we're looking at the traditional Christian faith. And so I receive His gift of grace and as a payment for the things that I had done. So your question, is it moral or is it just? Is it fair? I'm able as a Christian to say, no, it's not fair because I deserve the punishment that He took on Himself. Faith to me is everything. We grew up in a household of faith and learned to love Jesus and love the church and serve the church from the family that I grew up in. And so my wife and I have embraced that same life of faith, and we have taught the Christian faith to our children to understand themselves and their world because of Him and His teaching.
I believe there is a higher purpose in life.
I mean,
Yeah, I think I strong.
As you can see, the party to the right, they just don't believe in anything. They just think that this thing called Earth disappeared, and we just appeared, and all of this shit is just like, what the fuck? Like, how you not believe in nothing? Like, what you think? Like, all of this shit is like a coincidence? Like, I don't understand that. Like, how do you just not believe in nothing? Like, women give birth. That's some magical shit on its own right there. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do you not believe in nothing? Like,
I believe there's a higher purpose in life. I don't think I've found it yet, and I hope I would like to believe that I will one day in the journey of my life.
So I completely agree. I don't know what my purpose is, and I don't think there's like a higher purpose that fits for everybody. But to me, the idea that there's some bigger purpose has always been very comforting to me. Otherwise, kind of what's the point of all of this?
exactly.
No, I fully agree. I think that I believe it's a question that we all ask, and it's one of the gifts of faith, in my opinion. So that when there's times of epidemic and war,
Pandemic.
pandemic. You're right. That's a better
Worldwide.
pandemic. That we're able to understand, even in those situations of difficulty and conflict and anxiety and fear, that there is a higher purpose in life, and that there's more than what we see.
I trouble with the phraseology higher purpose because that, again, that denotes, do I believe God? No, but I do believe higher purpose as in love, to give, to be generous, to be kind, to help, to heal, to be there to understand.
The phrase higher purposes, it's a loaded phrase.
I struggle with higher purpose because it's like God said,
I chose you.
Yeah, I choose you, and you are going to do this thing, and you're going to continue doing this thing for the rest of your life. And I really struggle with that.
Can I just ask? And I mean this with all because I
you
received
can't
your
offend
statement
me.
with that.
You literally cannot offend me. What's up?
But
What's up, bro? Come on.
just curiosity. What if everyone was committed to this idea that like in the way that you expressed it? So I would say some people that are sort of pro-religion, like I am, would say that in order for us to bind together as a culture and learn to kind of work together and help cause one another to flourish, we have to agree on some kind of higher purpose or a common set of principles.
I disagree. I don't really see a need for having a prescriptive purpose. I'm struggling to even see what you see as the value in saying that you have a higher purpose.
Maybe it's more of a fear or a concern, right? That if everyone got up every day and said that life is all about me, and that's what, and I'm not suggesting at all that that's what you're saying about.
I mean, it kind of is. Like,
It is my belief. I don't mean to interrupt either of you.
Yeah,
It is my belief that one should take care of oneself.
Yeah.
Because nobody else will.
Okay.
People who do take care of themselves, they understand that it is balance, and they're not going to go out and cause anarchy and mayhem in the streets.
It can even be like a selfish act to be helping the community around you, and it's still a good thing. It's still important. It doesn't take a higher purpose to make that kind of thing happen. I was going to school with the intention to become an ordained minister in the Pentecostal church. One of the things there is you read the Bible.
It's something going on in these churches. We got to figure it out.
A lot every day, all day. And after doing that for like several hours a day and reading the Bible through back to back several times and discussing it, I wasn't sold at all. I guess I style myself.
You wasn't sold. You. Huh? I'm not surprised.
More as a skeptic and a humanist than anything. And Satanism just happens to fit really nicely in that category.
So you wasn't sold on the light, but you were sold on the darkness. Listen, my nigga, if you want to go ballistic and freak off and do whatever it is, worldly pleasures that you want to do, just say that. But don't be like, oh, I read the Bible through and through and I wasn't sold, but you know what I'm saying, the devil, yeah, like I'm sold on him. Huh? What?
And this is actually also kind of like my outing video. Like my family doesn't know I'm a member of TST. They don't know I'm a Satanist.
I believe in good and evil.
They both gotta. Yo, they don't believe in nothing, I'm telling you. Everything's a joke.
I have, as part of my own belief system for sure, a conviction that all of our hearts can at sometimes lead us to do acts of evil, and so I see it in the world around me on both sides.
Yeah, I think the phrasing is something that's it's a little bit catchy.
It's just dichotomy.
Yeah,
it just
I mean, I believe in right and wrong, and I think some things, for me, a lot of things lie in the gray area, but there are some things that I consider right and wrong. But I wouldn't say it's the same as good and evil, right?
That was beautifully said. That was.
Thank you.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. But I also believe that what is right and wrong has changed throughout history. And it's something where I don't know if everyday actions that I do right now are going to be considered evil later on. Like, is driving a car going to be considered wrong?
I don't believe in an evil entity who is, pitchfork and horns and looking like me with a goatee. That doesn't actually happen. If you ask anybody throughout history, they're always the hero of their own novel.
Mm-hmm.
Completely.
Even yesterday, I went to the grocery store and there was one person who had like more than 10 packs of toilet paper. And I do understand that
Toilet paper is not going to save you.
Yeah, I do understand that he was being cautious and watching out for himself and his family. I just think the act of doing that is wrong because there were so many people who couldn't buy toilet paper.
But to
right?
him, that was right.
But
because he was looking out for his family, probably.
Yeah, so like I said, like I'm saying that
Perception.
I think the act is wrong, but I wouldn't say that he's evil. Like unless he has IBS or something. I
That
don't
was
know.
a bad example.
Why he got so many? Some of the core beliefs of Hinduism is to believe in dharma, making sure that you have enough for yourself and also enough for other people. But Satan in Hinduism is like an assistant to God, someone who can cause disruption, but that is more for the benefit of human beings by and large.
I believe Satan is evil.
What's going on here? Okay.
Wait, why did you stop?
I was trying to play it out in my head, but then I realized I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Stuff, yeah.
Well, the fact that there is a Satan who is real and the fact that he is evil is, I mean, it's an important, pretty central belief that we hold in the Christian faith, and that there is a good and loving God and a Satan who is evil.
So let's go back to Genesis, okay? God wanted to keep humans from eating the fruit of knowledge, correct? And Satan, or the serpent, wanted to give humans that knowledge. I believe that's a good action.
That is a good action.
That's a good action. That's just...
Okay, so in life, there's rules and regulations to certain things. You can't just get up and do whatever you want all willy-nilly, running amok, as they would say. So rules keep us balanced. You know what I'm saying? It keeps things in order. Like, for example, if murder wasn't a sin and a crime, you know, life will be a lot more interesting. You know what I'm saying? But being the fact that it is A, a sin, B, a crime, yeah, I mean, and your ass could get 25 to life or worse, that keeps a lot of people in check. Believe me.
viable.
The first person to advocate for equal rights.
Yes. We only heard God's perspective, and from my perspective, I mean, just looking into the Bible, it's like we didn't hear Satan's perspective. Maybe he said, God is a tyrannical God, and I'm going to rebel from him, and I'm going to become a fallen angel to help mankind.
My interpretation...
How's he helping? How is he helping? We got diseases rolling out, babies disappearing, people getting murdered. How is he helping? I don't understand, like, sometimes people just talk because they got a mouth.
Understanding of that story is that God created an environment where and it was an environment of love and peace, and where his children that he created and who he loved, who he created in his image would...
They were naked and they didn't have understanding.
Yeah, and that this is an environment for them to...
Well, wait, we gotta hear his whole point.
To flourish. And so he puts them in this environment, and he desires for them to flourish and to live in unashamed relationship with him and his perfection and his glory.
Naked and stupid.
I see God making simple playthings because he's bored, if it's real then, and then saying, don't do...
You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand you don't rock with the big man, you know what I'm saying? But, like, y'all keep throwing little, like, snarky little jabs, you know what I'm saying? A little tiff, a disrespect. You know what I'm saying? We ain't disrespect Satan yet. You know what I'm saying? Hold it down, baby. Thank you.
It's because I don't want you on my level. And if you do, I have to make sure you can't live forever so you really don't get on my level.
Would you think that if you heard that one of your friends was having a baby and you'd say, oh, you're just making a plaything for your...
That's different.
There are some parents who use their kids as their plaything. Yeah.
But that's how I see the same generative love that out of which God created us.
I think for me, from as much knowledge as I have about Satan, I think Satan is a symbol of freedom and liberty, right? Mm-hmm. So that is not evil. Of course, like we discussed before, if people commit wrong deeds in the name of Satan, then that's wrong.
For me, I flip-flopped a little only because I don't think that on his own Satan is evil. I think he's used to represent evil. Whether he does or not, that's what he's used for. His character is very much used to say, like, you do something wrong, like, oh, that's an act of, like, the devil, kind of.
Satan represents to me taking responsibility for your own actions. It says to thirst for knowledge, for understanding, to understand that man is an animal, sometimes worse,
Speak for yourself, brethren.
than those around, but an animal nonetheless.
Religion has caused more harm than good.
Religion has caused a lot of harm. Is it the ultimate source of evil? No. Ultimately, people make their own decisions, but we'd talk about crusades and witch trials and the God hates fags and the snake handlers and the hypocrites,
Persecution of science.
the subjection of science, the arts.
I mean, I don't know that there's been a major war that hasn't been at least fueled by religion, if not directly started by it. Some of them were just political things, but they were always had a religious backing at some point that flared the fire up and made it so much worse than it would have been.
And they vote.
Oh, God.
I think religion dictates moral values for a lot of people, and the way people interpret religion has caused harm. But religion itself would never, can never cause any harm. It is meant for the good of society and for the good of people.
I don't fully agree with that because there's a lot of like holes and missing gems, you know what I'm saying, in religion. Like, for example, like, you know what I mean, like, there's multiple books that was purposely taken out of the Bible. What kind of shit is that?
Agree with that, Mike.
Oh, but let her finish.
Go on.
Yeah, and like I said, yeah, the way, because I don't think any God would say that, okay, this child is going to burn in hell. It's probably the way people have interpreted it, or the way people tell others, the way they've practiced, some people have practiced it.
There is harm in religion done in the name of religion, but it's hard to quantify on a cost-benefit analysis kind of way which is worse, you know, having religion or not having religion. Religion is a form of power. It is a tool, and it reveals the worst in humanity, and it reveals the best of humanity. And you can do a lot in the name of religion, but you can also do a lot of good in the name of religion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in the power word is very important to me. I have a lot of sensitivity about that, and where Christians have used either the Bible or their own conviction to express authority over other people in a way that doesn't lead to their flourishing. I think we're in agreement on that. As a member of the Christian church, I would say that there have been great contributions of people of faith to the cause of human flourishing and through medicine and healthcare and the arts and education and all those kinds of things. So
I wouldn't go about for the arts and the medicines, but for the arts, yeah, not for the medicines, but for the arts, yes.
Christian art is amazing.
Beautiful artwork. Beautiful
Cathedrals are
artwork.
amazing.
Those artists were not Christian. They were
I
just
don't
hired
care
by-
if they
And
were
Leonardo da
hired by
Vinci
the
was not a
church.
Christian.
I love it. I love Saint Sebastian portraits. I love all of
Some of the choral music is beautiful.
All of
The
it.
tradition is sometimes beautiful. There's beautiful things in it, and it can help calm someone if that is what they need. I do believe that people do need rituals. I myself have rituals.
So I mean, I think religion has given a lot of people some kind of peace of mind, and I think like even if it's necessarily like again, I think I guess what to you like someone believing in God, like well that's just not true. Why would you do that? I guess to me, believing in God, I don't think, and I've never ever impose my religion on anyone around me. I use it as something that's like a personal relationship between me and God, and it's helped me again lots of times in those times of alone, like in those dark moments, I guess, or in those happy moments, just thanking God for blessing my life, or in those dark moments, like feeling a little less alone is what it's helped. And I think people I've talked to have like felt similar things in that respect. I've always been proud of my religion. It's never something I've tried to hide. I think it's like if someone would have a conversation with me, not in an overbearing way, but it would be something that would come out very quickly in the conversation for some reason or another.
I consider myself a good person.
Oh, I gotta see this.
I'm a great person.
I really think good and bad is objective because does everyone love me? No. There are people who absolutely wish me dead, and that's okay.
I mean, good and bad being objective, like, you know, it depends on, you know, the situation. You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, there's the right thing to do, and then there's the bad thing to do. And we all have a choice. So.
Maybe I deserve it from them. I don't know. But on the other hand, you know, I help little old ladies across the street, and I give to the poor, and I give time and energy and So is that good? Maybe it outweighs the bad.
It's that constantly striving to be better in whatever means that is, but a moving forward sense, not just staying stagnant and I'm this and I'm going to stay this way all the time.
It's an active pursuit. Like you have to do
Completely.
it every single day.
Completely.
No, I do believe that being good is in these minute, like little actions, these micro actions that you do every single day.
I'm intrigued. Do you guys base it more on your intentions or more on your actions?
I think it's both, but intention is really important.
Yes.
It is. Because sometimes you do something thinking that it's going to be a good thing, but it turns out to be disastrous. But as long as you had a good intention in it, I feel like it's
Like
not,
to a certain extent.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
How many people do good things because they think that's what people expect good things to be?
Yeah, and for me, I would just hope that my faith would be borne out in acts of kindness and mercy and compassion and charity. And I know that
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video right there. Moral of the story is, these niggas is tripping. Pick up your Bible, there's a God, he's real, you know what I'm saying? Repent for your sins, you know what I'm saying? Because it's only gonna be but so many times he gonna show you mercy, you know what I'm saying? When you wake up in the morning and you take that first breath, that's him showing you mercy. Because at the end of the day, some niggas ain't gonna wake up tomorrow. I'ma holla. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. It helps. Thank you. Gracias.